Hello and welcome to our last video. I've named this video Everything Else, as while I was making this series I came across questions that showed slightly different ways of writing code, which I wanted to share with you. What you will be asked to do in this video is also a little different and a little easier. I will be asking you to simply copy down several examples. At the end of this booklet is a challenging pseudocode problem, but you're ready for this now and it'll put you in really good stead for any pseudocode question that's going to come your way. On page 1 of your Everything Else question booklet are 2 gaps. I would like you to copy down these examples on this slide. Both sets of pseudocode do the same job of adding up a set of values from an array to find the total. Then, once out of the for loop, to find the average and then display both the average and the total. The difference between the two is in the adding up of the totals line. The first example is one we're familiar with and we have seen in previous videos. It shows the name of the elements and the totals being added up. The second example just adds a little bit more in the detail by showing the name of the array and element names on the accumulated total line of code. Pause the video for a moment and copy in the 2 examples, then move on when you're ready. The question on this slide is found on page 2 of your booklet and is again asking us to find totals and averages and display these results. Again, we have 2 slightly different ways of doing the same job. The array is called sales array and the elements are called month. After the for loop, the user would see a message of entering the sales for a particular month and the month name which is to be inputted with the sales data. The user will input the sales. The line which says sales array month square bracket equals sales is a different way of putting in data. It is saying that as the user puts in each month's sales, these are being placed into the month elements. Now each month element has sales data in it. We can use month to add up and find the total, which is then used to find the average and finally display the total and average. The second example is more familiar to us. Instead of the elements being called month, they are called sales. We input this data as shown in our programming booklet examples. The sales elements are used to add up and find the total, which again is used to find the average. Then the total and average are displayed. Please copy both examples down on page 2, then move on to the next slide when you're ready. 1. Here is an oldie but goodie pseudocode question. Let's have a look at this now. In all our videos, we have not looked at a repeat loop example. Questions asking for a repeat loop, as you will appreciate, are rare. You should, however, have a good working knowledge of how a repeat loop works, but definitely be a master at writing while loops. There is a lot going on in this pseudocode question. I would suggest you look at your page 3 as you will see the question and structure chart to help you understand what the code is doing. The purpose of the program's sales main module is to find the price of the cookie that has been read or inputted into the system. The main module contains both submodule and a function. The module price has 4 parameters being passed from the main module to the price submodule. Cookie, price array and cookie array are by value parameters. The price parameter is by reference. The value contained in the price parameter is used in the function called cost. This function needs 2 parameters, amount and cost are by value. The answer is returned to the main module through the function name called cost. The cost function answer is then used to find the total price of all cookies and amounts ordered. Now, remember, to remain in a repeat loop, the condition must be false. The while loop is where the condition must be true to remain in that loop. So with this repeat loop, when we type in Y, the condition is true, so we come out of the loop. Before we look at the procedure price pseudocode, let me show you what this code is going to do. We have two arrays that have been passed as parameters into the submodule. They are cookie array and price array. The code will look for the cookie that has been read into the system. Let's say, for example, it's raisin cookie, which is in element 2. When that match is found, the element number for raisin cookie is used to find the price for that cookie, which will be 10 cents. It is this value, the price, which is returned to the main module. Again, have a look at your structure chart to see this. Here is the procedure price pseudocode solution. As soon as we enter the repeat loop, there is a counter, as a cookie has been inputted into the system and we need to record the count, which is the element. It is possible that the very first element could be a match. So if the count was not placed here, the count would not be recorded and we could not find the price. Once the name that was passed into the price procedure is matched with the cookie in the array, then found is true and we come out of the loop. Then whatever the element number was in the cookie array, which is represented by count, is used in the price array to return the price value. Before moving on to the next slide, copy this code into your booklet on page 4 along with all of the comments. When you are ready, move on to the next slide to see the function cost pseudocode. This is much simpler. The case statement, depending on the quantity of cookies required, will determine how much of a discount off the price will be. Then, this price is multiplied by the amount to determine the cost. The result is returned to the main module through the function named cost. Before moving on to the next slide, copy this code into your booklet on page 4. Here is the question I would like you to do. In an exam, you will not have checklists, tick lists, bullet points, requirements, or tables set aside for you to fill in to help you. You will have paper available, so find some spare paper and go through the steps you should be well practiced in. Here are the steps you should know off by heart so that you have a plan of attack in an exam. Here is the checklist you should have memorized before you go into an exam so that you will remember to place elements of your solution in the correct area and remember to put those bookends in. Of course, each pseudocode problem is slightly different and counters and calculations may have to be placed in a different order than the one you have memorized. However, this checklist is useful in making sure that your solution starts well and that you do not leave anything important out. Take some time thinking through this problem. You're under no time limit and I really want you to have a good stab at it. When this booklet is completed, I look forward to seeing your efforts. So thank you for watching this video and goodbye.